Hi guys, I'm coming at you with another video, and this is going to be about metamorphosis, self-transformation, finding the patterns that shackle you and breaking them. With that being said, I dedicate this video to a friend. You know who you are, and I hope you enjoy it. So stay tuned and please like, comment, and subscribe. So I want to talk about what is it in our minds that's so important that we need to study it. Why is that something important to study when it's something that's very rarely even talked about? Well, you see, this thing between our ears is really, as they say, powerful. It can determine our future, where we're going, how we see things, how we perceive things. And it can take us to really dark and negative places. Now, the key thing here is thinking. I was taking a dance class once, and the dance teacher told me that when she teaches a student, she doesn't want the student to think too much, because thinking can create self-doubt. And while thinking is important, the self-doubt aspect, that dark aspect, can grow inside of us in very insidious ways. And finding and pushing through and putting some light on what it is that's affecting us in a negative way has been a mission of mine since I was like 16. I want to talk a bit about myself and what's been my journey and see if that relates to you guys out there. See, I've always struggled with a relationship. How I relate to things has been a struggle of mine for the longest time. And I feel like relationships are these mirrors. They mirror something back inside of ourselves that are like such an intimate part of us and so deep and keen on what makes things happen on our outside world. Yet we rarely pay attention to this. This rarely opens to us. It's like another realm, but it's a real realm all the less. And I want to get in touch with that realm. I want to get in touch with the soul. Where is your focus? I'll tell you where my focus has been. My thoughts have been negative and stuck on a loop for the longest of time. So my focus has been on pain. And pain has made me in some ways, but has broken me in an infinite amount of ways. Now, finding a way out and getting to the other side, that's my curious study. If you want to find that, you're going to have to see yourself as you are, for where you are, which is really painful. We don't want to see that. We want to look away. We have to find a way to have that motivate us to achieve self-transformation. Now, relationships, from what I was talking about, could be with friends and family. And oftentimes, how we were with our families becomes how we relate to the world. And if we grew up around people who were not supportive, didn't help us, and didn't give us that light we needed, then we become parasitic. We take our own light away, and we take the light out of the world. Especially with friends. You see, I believe that friends and family are supposed to be there to support us and make us prosper. But how sad is it that most of the time we're all so lost in our own thoughts and darkness, our own dark cloud, that we can't see that rarely happens. Find it in yourself. Find it in yourself. Where do you find it? You find it in a mirror. The mirror will reflect back to you what is plaguing you. How do we get the courage to face that? We get the courage to face that, I believe, when we're in too much pain and there's no other way. At least that's how it worked for me. So it is a struggle. It is a struggle. But there's a way out. There's a way out. And really, all I'm talking about here is how to guide you, how to guide you to a more resourceful place. If you want to get to that resourceful place, you're going to pay a price. That price is going to be resistance and negative patterns. You're going to get lost. You're going to find trouble. But you know what? You're also going to find a side of yourself that is beautiful and worth pursuing. For me, I studied the way I related to people. This was like one of my first mirrors. I used to find relationship after relationship that would be self-destructive. The relationship was destructive for me and that other person. And yet, wherever I went, I found that more and more as time went on. I kept bumping my head against the wall. I kept running into the same obstacle until I had to face that obstacle was me. That obstacle came from self-doubt. So with self-doubt, there's going to be a lot of toxicity. There's going to be a lot of poison drinking. The thoughts are the cup. The attention is the liquid. That's going to poison you. And the craziest thing is we do not have full control over our thoughts the way we think we do. So they can get stuck in patterns. Patterns that are ingrained. They become a part of you. And they become so much a part of you that you can't even recognize that they are a part of you. And one of the things that make this so hard to break is the failure to recognize that it's even there in the first place. And the lack of inner momentum need to create a new way of being. That makes this quite tough. So, I'm going to read something here that I want to share. And it's going to be about, let's see, trauma. Trauma. So trauma is when your mind is stuck in a point of time and cannot escape. And you are basically in this hallway. You're in this hallway, and this hallway is a dark, scary hallway filled with things that want to harm you. When you are in this hallway, you see no way out. And there is no point of trying to escape. When I'm here, when I've been here, I'll tell you, it has been so overwhelming that I cannot imagine going on another day like that. And I know others feel the same out there. The question is, what would it take to light up that hallway, to break free of the barriers that are keeping you from moving out of that place? I also want to talk about things that degrade you. What degrades you, what lessens you, is basically the doubt and the pain that this trauma has created inside of you. That's stuck on a loop. There is, of course, many ways that we could talk about how to get out of that, but I want to speak to you, whoever is watching. I want to speak to you because you know you. What is the way inside of you? What is the key inside of you? What's that key? If that key is in you, which it is, can you bring it out? Can you bring it out? Can you unlock that door? Can you escape? Can you escape that hallway? Looking for that is going to be a little tough because you forgot where you put it. Or it's there, and even worse, you don't want to pick up the key in the first place. So, with that being said, I also want to talk about, extremely hard, having it extremely hard to face your fears. Yes, it can be extremely hard to face your fears because we all want to stay where we're safe. We all want to be in a place where we're safe. Now, if we want to overcome the fear, I believe we do it through love. That love is love of the moment. Finding a way to be in a loving place when you're facing these deep and dark fears. Because when we have this sensation in love, we feel a sense of fearlessness. And those who lacked love in life from themselves and others, especially, may have trouble with this. Because your relationship with the world is a hostile relationship. And actually, love makes you more powerful. Love makes you powerful. So, it's not about self-love now. I don't want to say it's self-love. It is generating love. Are you generating love? Self-love, for me, it's overdone. It's cliche. It doesn't really make sense to me, self-love. But generation of love, can you make that pour out of you so that anything you touch is an act of love? Those who have a lot of motivation in life, they love what they do. They love it. And when you're out of whack with this, which can be really hard and hard to even spark the smallest kindle of love, when you're out of whack with this, you don't see a possibility of that love pouring out of you again. So I'm really fascinated by the idea of love. You see, love is about connections, but love is also about overcoming barriers that disconnect you from what you truly desire. They say seducers and warriors have a lot in common because they do whatever it takes to achieve or to come towards a certain outcome because it's out of love. Either love of war or love of love. Strangely, love and war share a lot with each other. I know this from experience. A good lover is somebody who loves fearlessly. What do I mean by that? If you love fearlessly, you find this person and you don't hesitate to go make a connection with them. And it's out of a genuine place. You genuinely and lovingly get closer and closer. You genuinely and lovingly, fearlessly put yourself on the line because you don't want to lose this person. So putting yourself on the line with discomfort, it's not going to be comfortable. When you want to change your life, you got to put yourself on the line. You got to sacrifice this self-comfort. You don't have to do it all in one day, but you have to begin to sacrifice this self-comfort to bring yourself to a point of freedom. Because when we become one with something, that's a sense of freedom, because we expand. Now, breaking free and moving forward, I ask you, watching this video, where is the love that transforms you, that gives you power? Is that love something you could see, something you could develop, something you can grow more and more in tune with? Love conquers all, they say. I suspect this is what they mean. And let me tell you, I have had situations where I love someone so much that I would literally cross the oceans for them. And I mean that literally. That's a powerful drug. That drug will take you to a far place. And the idea, I don't want to talk about the same idea of love as everybody else does. I see it as a force that is a transformative force that can take things in a certain shape and build them into another shape. What are you going to do to find that love? Where is it? Is it in you anymore? You got to look within. And then you got to act within. Block out everything that is holding you back from love. That's what makes it powerful. It blocks out everything else. Anyway, I do love having deep conversations with people that reveal their innermost self to me. Why? Because I have studied my innermost self, or parts of it. Can't say all of it, just parts of it. And what's interesting in me is how that transcends so much. It's not just your thoughts and your feelings, but it is how you act as a mechanism in the world. What piece of the puzzles you fit in comes from these inner workings of the mind. Now, to look at that, oh, I'm thinking this, I'm looking at this, I see things this way, this I don't like, this affects me this way, and then if I don't do this, I get this outcome, and then this outcome becomes, whatever. Just looking at your mind like that. But not looking at it harshly or even critically, but looking at it with awe. Just like a lover looks at his bride, you can say. To observe yourself like that and just pay attention to every detail and love it. It can create something transformative. I'm probably going to learn how to tango one day. I'm going to learn how to tango. I currently applied for a job as a dance instructor. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I hope I do, because I believe that dance is going to teach me a lot about life. And it's practical. It's something that I love to do, and it's something that speaks to me. So it's something I'm hoping it happens for me. If not, I'll take lessons one day. But once I get in touch with that dance, and it's about lovers, what does that teach me about life? That's the question. What is that for you? What is the thing that teaches you about life on a deeper level? That you're so interested in that it opens a door. A door of opportunity and realization. What is it in you? What you move towards on a regular basis is gonna be your destiny. What you move towards on a regular basis, the things you do the most. And what's crazy is it's not the things we do most physically, it's the things we do most in our mind, because everything comes from the mind. In your darkest night, find your loving place. Find the love that pulls you out. That love will pull you out. You won't have to push anything. You will be pulled out. I believe that. Love beyond reason. Love the practical, the emotional, the spiritual. Love it all. I guess you gotta love life again. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to break out of this place so I can love life again. And love fearlessly till the day I die. So, I leave you with that. Thank you.